We're gonna look at Tesla. Do not worry, okay? But just a little Wednesday update. Six and zero, 6-0. On Wednesday it was the 4 for 4. It was the Wendy's. It was the Wendy's special. It was the Wendy's special, man. 4 for 4 like Wendy's, man. Today, two new plays. MX 100%, 112%. CRWV 40%. Right. Figma 97%. Apple 52%. We actually swung Apple. It was actually 90%, like you can see right here. Adobe was the first banger of the week. It just made this week so much easier. When you hit that first one on Monday, man, the week just get easier. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about, man. But see, Leyland 531 profit on some Apple, man. INTC. I think my boy Clark got this one. 2,000 on a little on hump day. Two 2,000 on hump day. I think this was Apple. 1,000 on hump day. INTC. INTC. Apple. Yeah, just little stuff, just little gains. But that's not even the best part. Okay, this market is as you've seen, like it's the volatility is there. That's the first thing. Okay, the second thing is, do we know when the market is gonna, like when are we gonna get that big pullback or when are we gonna get that, consolidation? I don't know. But the one thing we do know is that the markets go higher. Okay, I believe we see QQQ at maybe even 800. Okay, maybe even 800. Um, the main thing to pay attention to right now and coming into the second half of this week is to make sure if we want new highs on the Qs right now, we need to start trading above 712. And I believe after hours we're trading below 712. Okay, so that is the line in the sand, and that line is going to tell you are we ready to retest all time highs, which is 721, 722. Okay, that's the main thing I'm focusing on. And I think that's the main thing you should be focusing on too. Okay, is if we get trade above 712, above 712, that is where we start seeing all-time highs. And if you guys remember, the price I was talking about us reaching before we got any significant pullback was around 750. Okay, on the Qs. Okay, and I think once we get to 750, then we could probably see maybe a significant pullback. But I think we go even higher above 750. Okay, but the other thing is just finding good setups in this market. Okay, you no longer and also before we talk about that, like the RSI is at levels where we do pull back at. Okay, just because we pumped today doesn't mean we're gonna pump. Like we had an insane pump. This is actually a squeeze. $11 day. Like before this, we had people about to cry, man. Okay, we had people about to cry. So if you were over leveraged in some plays, make sure you're taking some profit. All right, make sure you're taking some profit because Tuesday we had some people about to cry. Okay. Um, so yeah, but usually when the RSI doesn't get this high, you usually do get a decent pullback. But sometimes it could sit here and consolidate and then inch a little higher. So I don't want to use this too much, but usually when we do get this high, you could go look back and that is where we get a pullback. But I think we could possibly get to 750 if we consolidate here for a little bit. But like I said, we need above 712. But um, the best thing right now is finding potential in the market. So I really want to look at individual stocks. Appreciate the gifts. Let's make sure we're liking this live stream. We only have 417. Put a thumbs up, put a like. Because as you guys have seen, man, if you've been paying attention to any of these videos, we've been spot on there on the entire rally, really, on the entire rally. Okay, just amazing plays, just great analysis, great opinions, right? And that's just a fact. Like some of you guys come on here, you get your market update, and you leave. And lo and behold, the market update that you received, oh, it was right. It was right. Oh man, thanks, Wom. I'm not gonna leave you a like though, but thanks, Wom. I'm not gonna leave you a like, but thanks, Wom. Adobe's bullish to me. I like Adobe too. But yeah, let's look at some individual stocks. I want to look at MX. Appreciate MX play, my boy. Yeah, MX I believe is still ready to make some noise. Okay, I think MX is probably is a stock that not many people are looking at. And in a euphoric market, these are the opportunities you want to seize. Okay, you want to seize these opportunities where not a lot of people are looking at these stocks. It's still undervalued, not undervalued, but undervalued in the aspect of we're in a euphoric market. Of course, it's undervalued. It's a semiconductor in Korea and this is the only semiconductor that trades on the U.S. on the Nasdaq that is from Korea. And if you know what Korea is doing right now, they're going through one of the most extreme bullish markets. That's why you see a lot of these memory stocks completely just pumping because of Korea. Okay, so MX is a stock that is a Korean stock, I believe, and they trade on the Nasdaq. One of the only stocks, semiconductor stocks. Okay, absolutely amazing. If you have not paid attention to this one, pay attention to it right now. You can get some very cheap contracts. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just show you the ones we got. I'm gonna just show you guys the one we got because we're pump what we got going on. Pump, get it on the train with us, man. Get it on the train with us, man. Let me see if I can find it. There it goes, man. Get it on the train with us, man. September 18th, 7.5 is at 40. These aren't going for 0.40 yet. They're going, I think, at 0.80 right now, but I think still a good price considering this is a stock that moved 17% today, right? $184 million market cap. Like if this would just get to $1 billion, it's trading at $50, right? Like this is just this is what I mean. In a euphoric market, these are the stocks you want to pay attention to. Another stock that you want to pay attention to is Mara and these semiconductors, or not semiconductors, my bad. These miners, but they're transforming into data centers. Okay, they're transforming into they're selling their Bitcoin, some of their Bitcoin, and building $1 billion data centers. Okay, so if you look at Mara, and we're making a killing on Mara too, but if you look at what Mara is going to end up doing, this is in a very extreme bullish trend that in my opinion is just now getting started. I mean, we could just look at this, right? I don't even have to draw any TA. We could just look at this, and if you don't think this is bullish, you need to get out the market ASAP. Like if you weren't looking at this dip buy area, where this dip buy was literally hidden bull diverging, a lot of you guys wonder like, oh, what's the TA you do, Wom? Like Wom, like how'd you come to the conclusion? How'd you go how'd you hit all 6 plays you call, Wom? How? Well, I'm gonna show you right here. If you look, first of all, we're in a trend market, so you probably want to buy time on a lot of these things. That's why we bought some time on Wire because we're in a trend market now. It's just about finding the undervalued bangers, right? It's about finding the undervalued stocks that have the potential to lower market cap. Like this is 5 billion. Lower market cap stocks that have the potential to make that transformation into something that's bigger than getting into like Nvidia, right? Nvidia's gonna go up, but getting into something like Nvidia, like this has massive potential. But you look at the daily hidden bull divergence that is playing out right here, okay? Daily hidden bull divergence. Now, what does that mean? This means this made a lower or a higher low, right? This made a higher low, but this ended up making a lower low on the RSI. Okay, that means this is hidden bull divergence. That means the momentum, the RSI actually reset. The RSI reset, and it is now ready to start pushing to a newer high, which I believe is around maybe 16. But that's the reason you want to buy time on something like this is because the real move is that like this thing is going to go to 25, 34, 48. Now, why is it gonna go to 49, dude? Like that's a long ways away. Wow, that's a long ways away, dude. 49. This is a $5 billion market cap stock. If it could just get to 20 billion, it's at 50. If it could just get to 20 billion, that's a 4x, and it's at 50. And some of you guys like 20, bro. That's a lot of money. You haven't been in the bull market, okay? Some of you guys just started trading a year ago, 2 years ago. You didn't see what was happening in 2021, right? You didn't see what was happening in 2020, right? You didn't see what was happening to something like Mara, where, and I was here. This thing was going from This thing went from $2 November 2020, right? November 2020, $2. March 2021, 3 months, $56. Okay, and this was just back when this was trading on Bitcoin. Like this, weren't really doing AI stuff. Now they're doing some AI stuff because we're in an AI bubble, and you best believe they're gonna pump this. Like I said, okay, these are the price targets that I have. Get in or get left. A lot of people didn't believe in Riot as well, and now I'm the one laughing. Right now, Riot is doing exactly what we talked about. Back when people didn't believe. A year ago, 2 years ago. Now it's gonna do exactly what I'm talking. It's gonna. But anyways, put the comments of stocks you guys can talk about. We'll look at it. That's just one that I'm looking at. Mara. I do like Mara. I took profit on MX. I want to get back in it. Yeah, MX is. I think it's just one that it's just a good hold. It's just a good hold. Like it's just a cheap good hold. SMCI is a stock that I definitely want to look at. Mainly because the profit. Like okay, the trade, the GPU trade is definitely still here. Like, semiconductors, ARM, AMD, Nvidia, TSM, one that I personally like is STM. Some of you guys don't know about this one, man, but I promise you, okay, this is one that you want to make sure you're. And oh my gosh, oh my gosh, are they making it this easy? I think they are. I think they are. But this thing continues to literally hit and bull diverge, okay? Some of you guys got scared on this dip, but there was no reason to be scared because this was hidden bull diverging. Okay, it was just getting ready for that next leg up, and as you see, it's the next leg up. But this is actually the semiconductor stock that I believe they make semiconductors for SpaceX. The $1 trillion IPO that's coming out. That one, I believe, like they make semiconductors for SpaceX. So that one's gonna end up flying. But if you look at and that one's under like nobody really talks about that one. Okay, and that's what I mean. You like now it's just about doing a little bit of research, finding the stocks that okay, if we know Nvidia keeps having blowout earnings and the AI trade is still there, like which Nvidia kind of proved today, like okay, the revenue keeps increasing, the guy like everything's good. Then you want to okay, and that's where SMCI kind of plays a part as well because SMCI literally gives them the cooling racks and all the supplies to help with the GPUs. Okay, and the revenue on here is actually 10 billion, which is crazy. And this is only a $20 billion stock. Like no way they're trading at 2x. Is there something I'm missing here? There's something I'm missing here, man. It has to be. No way it's this easy. No way it's this easy. But what you got to realize that it is this easy in a bull run. It is this easy. We'll look at Tesla after this, but I do like I do like I do like SMCI. This is probably one of the easier ones that you could probably get into like a swing for. Like it basically tells you it's gonna get to 40, but first it needs to get above where you see it right now, which it actually rejected from the day, which was around like 33.72. So I'd be paying attention to what it does at 33.70, 75, 70, like right there, okay? Because then it's going to tell you, okay, it's ready to retest $40, and above $40, this thing can really start flying. Okay, so I want to see what it does on those two levels first. But ultimately, like we can just look at this trend now. The trend isn't as good as like STM or the like Mara. Like this isn't hidden daily. It isn't hidden daily bull diverging. Okay, this is not. It's not. Okay, but it is one stock that I'm paying attention to. I think above 33.75 it could get to 40, and like I said, the revenue's great, and like some of you guys remember what this was doing back in 2024, and that's really when the AI bubble wasn't even really like here. Like now it's really here. Now we're in peak euphoria. Could this retest all-time highs? I want to say yeah. I want to say yeah. Well, maybe like 80, maybe like $80. Anyway, they had a legal issue. Yeah, I heard about the legal issue with execs smuggling VHS, but I didn't really find that bearish. And a lot of people actually did, and they kept selling it right here. Now it's getting short squeezed all the way back to where the dude was, selling all that stuff. And now it's even better. And the bull case now is that guy's out, right? That guy's out. The revenue's still strong. Like now it's like, okay, why are we so bearish? Now it could possibly get a short squeeze because now it's like, oh, okay, like there's people who messed up now. There's people who entered in the shorts, and so I heard about that. I actually didn't think it was that bearish because come on now, that was you know there's people doing it for free. What up, guys? Tesla. Let's look at Tesla, man. We'll look at Tesla. Look at Tesla. Keep liking the live, man. Like the live. We'll look at Tesla. Tesla. The only thing you have to know is that this is gonna get to 600. Okay, Tesla's gonna get to 600, and the reason I'm saying that is because this is one of the stocks that is at the forefront. And ooh, I love talking. Like, I'm glad someone said Tesla. I'm glad we're looking at Tesla because now it's more about the thesis of why this is going to 600. Okay, and it's because they're one of the only stocks making humanoid robots, manufacturing them. This is the humanoid trade of what I believe is going to end up coming after the GPU trade. Okay, right now it's GPUs. Everybody wants to talk about semiconductors. Semiconductors, just like how it was with gold and silver. Back then, just how it was. With oil, etc. Now it's the semiconductor trade. But eventually, like if you wanna front run some of these trends, now that these trends are happening, I think the humanoid robot via Tesla is definitely one that you could probably front run. Okay, and if you just look at it, okay, this is just a very good setup. Regardless, it came down. It came down and retested the level that it needed to retest, which was 394. Okay, that was the swing, the from the previous swing high to swing low, like you saw it here. Okay, or the swing low to the swing high, like you see right here. This was the 618. This was where, and it was just clear. And this is why I just practice. This is why I preach. You don't need that much TA. Okay, you really don't. What matters more is like the psychology. Okay, and if you look at like all you had to do is come here and be like, okay, I want to buy Tesla. When is a good time to buy Tesla? When is a good time to buy Tesla? I don't need fair value in value LGBT value gaps. What I really need is just this nice little Fibonacci tool. That's all you really need, okay? And then if you come over here, all like it literally just went right here. It literally went right here. Closed above on the daily, bounced $30 or $20, I should say. Um, and yeah, that's all you really needed. But what I want to look at right here is did this come and do this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It did the exact same thing. You see that wick right there? It did the exact same thing, and then it made that new leg higher. Now, could we make that new leg higher? I think so. I think so. But mainly, this is like humanoid robot trade. Okay, and wait till that trend starts coming out. I think this get to 600. I think that the real dip you wanted to get was at 390, 398. If you miss that dip, you're now kind of you're now kind of playing with you're not getting that great of an entry. So really of course you want like a dip, but or you could just buy some further out contracts, right? Like we said, I believe this is getting to 600. Um, if you miss this dip and you believe the thesis that I'm talking about and the humanoid robot trade that is coming out, then you would just sit here and get some July 440s and you would dollar cost average in on a dip. Okay, that's one way to play it. But if you want to play it like on a day by day basis, obviously you got to be in the market, seeing what seeing how price react, seeing what the market is doing, etc. But um, that 398 is where you really wanted to get it at. All right. Anyway, 600 by when? I think it could reach 600 before the end of summer. The reason being is because we're in a euphoric market. Okay, the trend is constantly shifting, money's constantly rotating, um, and what happens after? And euphoric markets are always the quickest. Okay, it's the quickest, like we've been seeing. Okay, it's the quickest, so it shouldn't take that long. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Um, Ping. Let's look at Ping. September 18th Tesla. Yeah, I think you're gonna make some money, man. I think you're gonna make some money. And considering this is a 1.5 trillion dollar stock, it could get to 2 trillion, and that'll put it at 550. It'll put it up there, and it could get to 2 trillion. Okay, it could do that. Ping Semiconductor. Um, I think it's a good trade just because it's breaking out of a literally a this is probably in the 76 $100. The main thing I like paying attention to because now these are momentum trades. Okay, this isn't even like a TA trade. Obviously, we can come to the daily and like, oh yeah, this is flagging. Obviously we can do stuff like that. But what this mainly is a trend trade now because it has broken out and is now in price discovery mode. It broke out price discovery mode when it crossed $38. Okay, since it is now in price discovery mode, it is now in momentum trade mode, meaning these fibs are going to help you more often, more than anything, and determining price targets. Okay, so you now know we're in a very bullish market. Now the only thing is finding a good bounce area for this, or like a good pullback area, or, so you're not buying, when this thing is full blown green candle, if that makes sense. Like make sure you're not buying this full blown green candle. You're getting it. You're getting it on a nice little wick like you see right here. But the price target says it gets to 76, maybe even like $100. What's the market? 2.4 billion. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Like I said, man. The only thing you don't want to do is you want to make sure that the momentum in the market continues. I actually want to see something really quick, okay? Because no way it's this easy. But like I said, when I said no way it was this easy, was back when people thought Iran was about to, they thought Trump was about to bomb 50 million people in Iran. Okay, that's when That's when I was like, no way they're making it this easy because we saw bull divergence, hidden we saw everything bullish on the charts, and we had all this bearish narrative of Trump. People really thinking Trump was about to bomb everybody around. Okay, and then the next day he was like, oh, I'm just playing, and then that's when the rally started. So is it gonna be this easy? Um, People are actually buying puts right now, 0.66. Like I said, this isn't really gonna matter as much because now we've unless like some super bearish news comes out or like China like unless Trump starts more beef, okay, a different beef. It can't be the Iran beef anymore, okay. It has to be different beef. Um, it can't start the Iran beef anymore. It has to be different. So if it's a different beef, then yeah, it's understandable. But if it's the same beef, then this should continue to just stay right there. And this is a 2.5 billion dollar stock, so I like it. If you want to if you want to really be bullish on this, you need it to start trading back above 49.80 or $50. Like make sure it has some daily close above $50. That'll tell you the continuance is still there. But other than that, like I said, this should see $100. It should see $100. I'd be looking at July type of July type of contracts. Okay. Anyways, oh my gosh, somebody said NX. I just love this market. I just love this market. Somebody said NXPI. What you know about NXPI? I absolutely love NXPI. Absolutely love it. The only thing I don't love is that the contracts are garbage. The contracts are garbage. And actually, I was already charting this. I think it can get to 385 and 534. Semiconductor stock that is only a $78 billion market cap stock. Double digit revenue growth this year. Strong demand. AI and edge expansions. Data center and automotive platform. Like that capacity increases. They have everything going for them. Okay. And the best part is this is doing something Ping has already done. This is actually breaking out of price discovery. Okay, like I said, consolidation for 5 whole years. You think this is gonna stop right here? No, we're in a euphoric market. We're in a euphoric market. Okay, like, and this is what I mean. You gotta find these good stocks. Okay, there's more stocks out there than Nvidia. There's more stocks out there that are there's more stuff, and Nvidia's still good, but the price target was 240. It hit 240. Um, there's more stocks out there besides Nvidia. There's more stocks out there besides Google, and they're gonna end up giving you better gains overall, anyways, right? Like, look at this. This thing has been like, look at this. Like, come on. We're trying to get the stock that is about to do this. Not that has already done it and now it's up here. Okay. Um, and that's where the opportunity lies right now. Now that this was the opportunity. If you guys have been following me for a while back in October, we loved Google in October, loved it in, you know, November, December, January. I loved it. But now, money's moving, money will rotate, and crypto is still bullish. Okay, I'm always early. I'm never wrong. Crypto's still bullish. Now, do I think crypto can make a new all-time high? We'll come back to that. But I do think crypto will receive a nice push here. Maybe definitely above 100K. Okay. Um, Still love Mara. Still love Coin. FICO is the opportunity now. Somebody, somebody thinks that's a bad thing. Of course, I'm still bullish on Mara. And if you're buying equity, like, come on now, what are you shorting stuff, man? What are you getting? What are you getting? Weak calls, man. You getting a weak out call on Mara? Come on, dog. FICO, Fair Isaac Corporation, Financial Publishing Services. I don't really have an opinion on this just because this first of all, like, this thing went up $44 today. It's $1,200. Um, yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm looking at it, but the daily does look amazing though. Like, this is first of all, every single time I see that, this is a bottoming out pattern. Okay, so obviously I think this goes a lot higher. Okay, but anyways, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Been live for 25 minutes, which is where I usually try to log out. Everything is linked in the bio if you need anything. Okay, in the description if you need anything. We will continue. We will continue to make some things happen inside of WOM. Okay, 6-0 this week. Amazing plays, amazing analysis. Do not turn mega bearish just yet. Okay, Do not turn mega bears just yet. Like I said, we need to trade above 614 on the Qs in order for us to get back inside that bull trend and to start retesting all time highs. But other than that, if we do go down, there will be some amazing dips to buy. Okay, because I don't think the market is done. Like I've been saying since October, like I've been saying for since 2022. Okay, the market is very bullish, and it's ending now, but it can't stay bullish, but it is ending. But this is the funnest part. This is the funnest part. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later, man. I'm out. Peace.